Today's video is going to be super exciting, at least for me it is, because I finally got something in the mail that I was just waiting for such a long time. Not really a long time, but this item I had ordered when it first came out for pre-order January 1st, and some of you already know what it is, and I am super excited to have my hands on it because I got this 2 days ago, but I was working so I haven't had a chance to film. So I finally came on today to film this tutorial, which I am going to be putting up also into this video, so stay tuned for that. And I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this palette because I am so in love with this palette. Oh my god, when I got my hands on this palette, I was super excited. I love Jaclyn Hill. She's definitely one of my biggest inspirations here on YouTube, and I was so happy to get this palette. I have to say that she did a really good job on this palette, and when I first opened the palette, the colors, oh my goodness, the colors were just so gorgeous, so pigmented. I created this look using this palette, and I have to say, wow, I'm really impressed. Because originally I used to buy palettes that were low-key. I'm not sure the names of the palettes that I used to buy from what company, but I was really impressed by these shadows because when I used to buy from other companies in the past, the shadows used to be very powdery, chalky, and had no pigmentation. With this palette, you have no issue with that. Every single eyeshadow is super pigmented. So soft. These eyeshadows are very easy to blend, and I was very impressed by the quality of them. This shadow palette will be going back in stock in February. It did go out of stock really fast in January, or the beginning of this month when we first ordered it. There was a major issue on the website, so it was hard for me to get this palette, but I kept trying and I kept trying, and I finally got it. It finally came to me, and I was so excited to play with it, and I love this. I love it so much. I love the matte shades, the shimmer shades, really true to color, and you'll see that once we get into the tutorial. It's crazy to say that this is actually my first purchase that I've made off of morphebrushes.com, and it's funny because I was just talking to Lindsay about getting some eyeshadows from Morphe when Jaclyn Hill announced that she was releasing this palette, and then when she finally said she was releasing it, I was like, hold on a second, I'm going to wait until this palette releases and then I'll get my purchase off of Morphe brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and link the website down below if you guys like to check the website out. I forgot to mention that every eyeshadow in this palette with the Jack Attack code to save 10% off, and I'm not sure if that's going to work again for the second round of eyeshadow palettes when they come out. But every single eyeshadow priced down to $1.80, so my purchase was $25 total with the coupon code applied to it. And then of course they tack on the shipping and handling, so it brought it back up to maybe about $30. I'd like to say a little bit over 30. Yeah, a little bit over 30. But it's still not a bad deal with all of the shades that you get and the quality of the shadows. A lot of eyeshadow palettes out there are priced usually more to get the quality that you get in these eyeshadows here. I don't want to go too much into this palette. There are tons of videos out there on this palette, but I did just want to show you some swatches. I know I'm talking too fast, so I feel like I'm scrambling and rambling and I'm not able to get my words together, and it's crazy. Some of you do know that I do pre-record my videos because I work so much, so I haven't been filming, and this has been maybe a few days, I'd say maybe about a week that I haven't really filmed and talked to you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the palette in all its glory. It is so beautiful. I'm so in love with it, and if I have not said that already. But I have to say that I'm so obsessed with this shade right here. I have this shade all over my lid right now, and it's this really pretty gold shimmer color. Look at that. The pigmentation is incredible, and I'm so overwhelmed by how great the pigmentation is in these shadows. My other favorites in the shadows would have to be these purples here, and I'm so impressed by the color selection. She did such an amazing job putting her own colors together, or colors that Morphe already had. She collaborated with them and she chose her favorite eyeshadows and put them all together into this palette, and I'm just so in love. And I'm swatching it with the same gold shade. Oh well, this is the same finger I use with the gold. But look at that color. Look at the pigmentation. It is so pretty. I am so loving these colors. Oh my gosh. So I don't want to talk too much into it. Like I said, there's tons of videos out there, but I did want to show you a couple of my own little swatches of my favorite colors. But I just love this. There's so many neutrals in this palette for your basic neutrals daytime look. There's so many colors in here for bold, colorful looks. Way out of this world. The only thing that I noticed when I did do my makeup is that it did not have a matte highlight for the brow bone, and it did not have a matte black. Now, when I do my eye tutorials and I create the depth in the crease, I like to use matte browns. Very rarely do I use a matte black to put it into the crease, but for every brow bone highlight I like to use a matte. Very rarely do I use a shimmer, but the majority of the the majority of the shadows was shimmer, so I went ahead and I used a shimmer, more like a satin finish, light shade in the palette, one of these here to highlight the brow bone. So it wasn't too bad, but I did reach in to, actually no I didn't reach for another palette, but on another look that I created maybe about a day ago, I did have to reach into a different palette. I think it was my Too Faced palette that I used the matte highlight for the brow bone, and then the rest of the colors I used with this palette. That's the only thing that I noticed when I was doing my makeup. That was the one thing that was missing, is a matte brown highlight, or matte brow highlight. So yeah, I really love this palette. I highly suggest you guys get your hands on this palette when it comes back again. It's set to be back in stock in February, so I'm really excited for that because my mom has seen this palette and she really, really wants it. So I'm hoping that I can get her that palette. But I really, really am enjoying this palette. I can see myself using these colors almost every day, especially the bold ones, just to create more looks. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like for me to create more looks using this palette. I would be happy to do that for you guys. I'm not being sponsored by this website to say any of this. I just want to share the information out there because this eyeshadow palette is amazing. And I recommend you guys get your hands on it when the second time around comes, for when they go back into stock and you guys can buy the palette. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into the makeup tutorial. Hey guys, so first we're going to start off by priming our eyes, and I'm using the Original Primer Potion by Urban Decay, and this will just ensure that my eyeshadows stay on all day long. Going in with a 24-hour ColorTattoo by Maybelline. These are discontinued and I purchased these off of eBay, and I'm using the shade Nude Pink. And it was said that this was comparable to Painterly by MAC, so that's why I purchased this one instead. And then I'm moving on into my Morphe palette by Jaclyn Hill, doing a little dance with it first. I'm taking the first shade in the palette, and it's going to be my transition shade. I could describe this shade as like a mustard, like between a yellow and an orange kind of shade. It reminds me of mustard, like a dark, 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 dirty mustard color. And I'm taking this color and just buffing it into my crease. I'm also taking the color and just buffing it all over my eyelid, just so that there are no harsh lines. Next, I'm taking this really light gold highlight, and I'm using a pink shadow brush. And I forget the name of the brush, but all the products will be listed down below because, knowing me, my memory is not so great. And then I'm going with this really beautiful gold shade. It's so pigmented. I'm taking a flat shader brush from Sigma, and I'm packing this color all over my lids. Then I'm taking this more like a coral orange matte color, and I'm just going to pop this into the crease and blend it into the mustard color. Next, I'm taking this dark brown matte, and I'm actually using this shade to define my crease and just add some more depth into the crease and buff that in with a Sigma blending brush. I believe this is the E40. Then I'm just going back into that gold color and retouching up the gold. And then I'm moving on to my liquid liner. This liner, I got it in my Ipsy bag, I believe, and I'm not remembering the name of it, but I will list it down below. This dried to a really dark matte black finish, but it dried so fast. It does not give you time to work and perfect your liner, so I don't really recommend that. And then I'm moving on to putting on some mascara. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, and I do love this mascara. And then I went ahead and popped on some Demi Wispies by Ardell. These have been one of my favorites so far. Moving on to concealer, I am using the shade Neutralizer, and this is the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. And I'm not only concealing, but I'm also highlighting the areas of my face with this concealer and just starting blending with my finger, and then I move on to my beauty blender to blend it even better. And then I'm going to mattify my concealer and my foundation with my Rimmel London Stay Matte Pressed Powder. You guys know that this is my ultimate favorite Stay Matte powder, just to mattify my foundation. Then I'm moving on into this really light gold shade in the corner, and I'm just going to take this and highlight the inner corners of my eyes. And then I'm going to go ahead and smoke out the lower lash line with the same colors that I used in the crease. And I'm using this really thin definer brush by Bare Minerals. I've had this brush for so many years, but it gives you precise application to the lower lash line. And then I go back in with a blending brush from Sigma and just blend out the harsh line that the first brush put. Then I just went ahead and applied some mascara on the lower lashes. I then used a black liner from TooFaced, I can forget the name of it, but moving on to contouring my face, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, and I just started using this and I'm really liking it. And you want to make sure you find where your cheekbones, your indent in your cheekbones. That's why I was pushing just to find the indent of the cheekbones, just to kind of guide you where your contour should be. And I just contoured my nose, and I went into the banana powder that was in the same contour kit, and I just went ahead and put that underneath my eyes just to mattify my face more. Moving on to blush, I am using the TooFaced, no, not TooFaced, it's by Tarte, and I forget the name of this palette also. I'm so bad at remembering names of palettes, but I use this pretty coral shade. And then the next one that I use is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. I love this palette, it's so pretty. And I just used the first two shades and then decided to use the gold shade because I thought all three shades would look beautifully on the skin, and I thought it'd be great for this makeup look, why not? And then I went into my NYX ButterGloss, and I will list the name of this ButterGloss down below. I can't remember if it was Peach Cobbler or Cherry Cheesecake. And then I almost forgot to do my brows. Shocker. I don't know how I almost forgot to do my brows. But you guys know I am using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown.